The Afterburners ends in RS, which equals cocoa. Okay, I prophesy that in my lifetime there are going to be one or more aircraft with afterburners that are going to drop cocoa as gifts upon peoples of the world to the glory of God. Done. And the afterburners equals the joy burners. I could go on. But this comes off of a massive revelation from the Lord with RS words, okay, mostly describing people, okay, like prime ministers. Notice that all of these words end in RS, which is mathematically the most efficient way to declare cocoa perfectly. Notice that, so cocoa is 37. There's only 26 letters in the English alphabet. So how do you hit 37 perfectly to match cocoa? RS. Aha. Because R equals CO, which is the first syllable of cocoa, and then S is 1 point higher to be the COA. So in the sovereignty of God, remember, God is the king of efficiency. You know, people in the military, people in all sorts of communication service and computing science understand efficiency. They understand information packets that streamline the data to fly faster and get the message across using less bytes, okay? So the most mathematically efficient way to declare cocoa to the human race is the letters RS, okay? So these are words from the Lord. Cocoa applies to, okay, all of these terms I'm going to say end in RS, okay? Fathers, mothers, brothers, sisters, prime ministers, okay? The word friends does, in fact, end in RS, and equals R. Doctors, lawyers, teachers, learners, okay? Anything that ends in RS, bakers, butchers, candlestick makers, and the famous word afterburners, okay? So we have planes in this story, in the sovereignty of God, that have afterburners. Well, what should those planes with afterburners be used to deliver? Cocoa! It's that simple. What gets the last word on the word afterburners? RS, cocoa. Done, okay? So you put the cocoa in the planes, okay? You fire them up, you turn on the afterburners, and you take the cocoa with parachutes to the nations of the world, and you drop it to the glory of God, okay? God food, done, okay? So I prophesy that in my lifetime, at some point, one or more planes that have afterburners are going to be used, okay, to parachute cocoa to one or more people on this planet, okay? This could get into the thousands, this could get into the millions, this could get as big as it gets, okay? But I'm just here to say what is going to happen, okay? God willing. So yeah, cocoa applies to everyone. There's like pages of terms that end in RS, like educators, instructors. You can literally, well, as I did, you just use a computer program to print out all the English words that end in RS, and the first thing that strikes you in God's sovereignty is the number of words that apply to people, okay? In their occupations, whatever God has called them to. The most touching of all is, of course, fathers, mothers, sisters, and brothers. Okay, first and foremost, we are family, okay? And cocoa is for every one of us. God food is for everyone, and that is the exciting thing about cocoa distribution. And that is why I am prophesying that afterburners will be used to deliver cocoa to the nations of the world. As a beautiful correlation scientifically for the glory of God, afterburners, okay, and all jet engines thrive on oxygen, okay? When the rockets went to the moon, Apollo, okay, they run basically on oxygen, concentrated oxygen, like liquid oxygen, okay? Well, guess what cocoa does on the inside of humans? Maximize oxygen uptake. So let's get this straight. God has allowed us to have airplanes that have afterburners that need maximum oxygen in order to thrust the plane through the air, okay? Well, what should those planes deliver? Cocoa. That on the inside of all of us, perfectly, pleasurably, with no harm, no negative side effects, nothing wrong, increases all of our oxygen uptake in our entire bodies for maximum happiness day and night. Done. So, what are planes with afterburners destined to be used for in my lifetime? Cocoa delivery. Done. Okay. It's going to be awesome. Very simple. Okay. Amazing. So yeah, terms like flyers, drivers, carriers, all of these terms end in RS. You can use a computer program to find every English string that God has ordained. The original thing that I was getting, you can review the original video, is I was getting a host of words from the Lord that have RS in symmetry, like the word praise, okay? The word rubies. There's a host of them. And just know for a fact that RS is the God-ordained way to most efficiently declare cocoa, okay? And as you meditate on all the words that you discover with the great RS, either in symmetry or, at the end, it's very important, it's very significant for a string to end in something. It's like that's what gets the last word on this, like Afterburners. It ends in RS, which is cocoa. What should planes with afterburners be used to deliver by parachute to the nations of the world for the glory of God? Cocoa, which internationally is called God food. Perfect. Revelation from God given. It's going to be glorious and it's going to be blessed. There you go. And I go ahead. I encourage computing scientists like I have to find all words that God ordained in the English dictionary that have an RS in symmetry, an RS at the very end. And think about cocoa as you look at these words, and you will nod your head knowing the simple truth that cocoa applies to everyone. God food is for everyone's blessing, okay? And everyone's happiness, joy, no matter what you're called to and what you love to do in this life, no matter who you're married to, what your kids do, and cocoa applies to all of you, okay? God food is for everyone. That's why I'm so excited about it, okay? Turn on the afterburners and take this cocoa to the world. How exciting to be a pilot that fires up the afterburners after years in idleness or maybe semi-retirement. And now you've got an unprecedented mission that is stamped and sealed with the perfect math and the perfect letters from God, foreordained by heaven, using the secret, sacred code. Remember, secret is the cocoa, the RS. There's a perfect gem for you. That was a word from the Lord. What a treat for aircraft pilots from all over the world to be called back into those aircraft that they know how to use, but now they have a mission from heaven, okay, to deliver cocoa by parachute to nations of the world for the glory of God. Okay, what an exciting episode that will be. Okay, there's few things sweeter for a pilot, a cocoa pilot, than feeling the thrust of the afterburners. Even the word thrust, this is going to blow your mind. So the word trust is an RS example. Cocoa, you can trust cocoa all the days of your life for your health, happiness. Okay, trust, RS and symmetry, cocoa, and the rest is symmetrical. Well, what's another word that sounds like trust? Thrust. Where does thrust come from? Afterburners. Okay? Are you starting to receive the revelation from God? And then Revelations is RS bookends. Cocoa. I've gotten so many revelations while on cocoa. God food. It just makes sense. It all glorifies God. Yeah, it's like givers, receivers, worshipers, lovers, eaters, takers, drinkers. All of those terms apply to us, and they all end in RS, which equals cocoa. Okay, so, afterburners on planes, take cocoa to the world at supersonic speeds.